Bird flu has been detected in multiple U.S. states, and the numbers are growing every day. This has prompted several countries to ban or limit imports. It's a blow to the industry already struggling to hatch more chickens and turkeys in the wake of the pandemic and weather conditions cutting power last year. But don't be fearful. Take steps now to protect your flock and your food security. Welcome to Pandemic Homesteading, where we grow it, build it, break it, fix it, and prep for it. Spring is around the corner, and local feed stores are getting their chick supplies set up. If you are considering starting a small flock or already have one, do you have a biosecurity plan in place? What exactly is bird flu? Why is it important? Does it affect humans? And what can we do about it? Matt Koci, a professor in North Carolina State University's Poultry Science Department, explains what you should know about the bird flu. Bird flu, sometimes called avian flu or avian influenza, is essentially the slang term the media uses to differentiate influenza viruses in birds from seasonal flu viruses in people. It can be a confusing term because there are a lot more types of influenza viruses that infect birds than there are types of influenza viruses that infect people. It's mostly used to refer to a handful of influenza virus subtypes that cause severe disease in chickens and turkeys. Stick around to the end for pro tips on preventing illness in your chickens or turkeys in addition to the official recommendations I share. The vast majority of avian influenza viruses do not make people sick, even most of the ones that have high mortality rates in poultry. There are just a handful of bird flu viruses that have infected people. Over the past 20 years or so, we've seen less than 2,000 total infections in people worldwide. That number is low because they don't spread from person to person. So the risk of getting infected is only for those who are around or work with poultry that are infected with these viruses. The U.S. Department of Agriculture and several state departments of agriculture, including North Carolina, are asking people with backyard and free-range birds to move them indoors and keep them away from migratory birds. This is always a good idea to limit their exposure to disease, but especially critical right now. Please like, subscribe, and set the notification for future video content from Pandemic Homesteading. If you raise poultry, especially if they are kept outside, you'll need to do all you can to keep your birds from getting infected. You'll also need to know what to be looking for. Keep chickens, turkey, guineas, and other poultry separate from ducks. Ducks are known reservoirs for HPA1 virus and can carry the virus without signs of illness. The HPA1 virus lives for a long time in cool, moist conditions, so eliminate standing water in your flock's pen. Place a cover over your flock's pen if possible, to prevent introduction of wild waterfowl droppings into the area your flock inhabits. The droppings of infected waterfowl have very high levels of infectious HPA1 virus. Feed and water your birds in a protected area to prevent attracting any wild birds. Wear shoe covers or clean boots each time you enter your bird's pen. This will prevent HPA1 virus into the bird's pen if it's present on your property. Don't share equipment with other flocks. If you purchase new birds, buy only from reputable NPIP, National Poultry Improvement Plan dealers. The link is below. Keep newly purchased birds separate from your existing flock for at least 3 weeks to rule out any infection that might be present. Watch your flock closely and know the signs of illness. Poultry infected with HPA1 can have various signs of illness: lack of energy and appetite, reluctance to move, decreased egg production or soft or misshapen eggs, discolored comb, wattle, lack of coordination, diarrhea, or even sudden death. Susceptible birds may die without showing any signs of illness. In an HPA1 infected flock, many birds will die within a short time. If your flock suddenly becomes depressed and begins dying, please contact your local cooperative extension or your state agriculture board. All right, enough with the recommended stuff. Let's get to pro tips. There is anecdotal evidence to support that offering water to chickens with added apple cider vinegar supports a healthy flock. I add it to their water about once a month, and it's great in plastic waterers at preventing the green algae buildup that occurs in summer months. It helps reduce intestinal and fecal odor. It supports the animal's digestive system by providing probiotics. It helps break down minerals and fats. It assists the animal to assimilate protein, and it helps convert food better. You'll also want to check for mites, vent inspection, comb inspection, check the feet for scaly leg mites and bubblefoot, and of course, keep the coop clean. Last, chicken needs to spread their wings and forage to get access to the wildest array of foods and microbes. So free range when you can, but do it with supervision. This is me supervising our flock. Cheers. Look, at the end of the day, your chickens are part of your homestead, which means they're part of your family. And given all of the circumstances going on in the world, let's protect them.